Hi, my name is Emma Svanberg and I'm a perinatal clinical psychologist working here in North London. So I see women and their partners during pregnancy and through birth and around the early years of parenthood. And I've been asked to talk to you a little bit about exercise and keeping well during pregnancy and in the early days of parenting, particularly in the way that can help protect your mental health. There are sort of two things to think about when it comes to exercise and looking after yourself physically during pregnancy and after birth. There are sort of two conflicting camps that often we can fall in the middle of. Firstly is the pressure that a lot of women feel to get back to their pre-baby body, as we hear about all the time in the press. So it may be that you're very quickly feeling pressured after birth to get back to the way that you were before, or even more so, to try and prove to the world that your body can be just as it was before pregnancy. Also, there is the other side of that equation, which is that during pregnancy and after birth, actually often we can feel like the last thing that we want to do is move around at all. We might be feeling physically quite depleted, we might still be recovering from birth, we might just want to sit on the sofa eating brownies and feeding our babies. So there are two very conflicting messages, and often we end up a bit stuck in the middle of those two different messages. So what about that pressure, first of all? Well, where does it come from? Partly it comes from all of the images that we're bombarded with every day of women looking super skinny and fit after they've had their babies, and lots of Instagram poses of people doing beautiful yoga positions on the beach in Ibiza. So without us even realising it, those kind of images really enter our subconscious and start to add to an internal pressure that we might also be putting on ourselves. And where does that internal pressure come from? Well, there isn't much room in our society to just allow yourself to go through the transition of pregnancy and becoming a mum for the first time. Really, we're not given very much space at all, and there are lots of messages around us that we should be getting back to normal in every way, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. There's not very much space given for the enormous transition that we've just been through. So because of that, we can feel an internal pressure too to try and get back to normal and prove that by physically looking the same as we did before. The problem with this though is that that itself can really raise our anxiety levels and make us feel like we're failing before we've even started. So what can we do instead? Well, what's really important after pregnancy and after birth, but when your body has been through such a lot of changes, is to take things really, really slowly. And the key to all of that is trying to move with kindness. So thinking all of the time of the ways that you can be kind to your body and your mind. There are lots of different ways of doing that. So for example, you might just want to go and take the baby out for a walk in the sling or the buggy. There are also great postnatal Pilates programs and prenatal Pilates programs too, just to help you get your core back to what it was, and also just to help your body stretch and recover and repair itself after all that it's been through. There are also lots of other things that you can do physically to feel like you're really nurturing yourself. You might want to look into things like closing the bone ceremonies, or anything that help you to really celebrate your body and everything that it's just been through with you. When you do feel ready to get back to exercise, make sure that physically you're in the right condition to do that. Sometimes we can go back to high impact exercises a bit too quickly, and that can put a lot of pressure on our already quite vulnerable pelvic floors. So make sure that you go and get checked out properly before you do that. You could speak to a personal trainer about that, or you might want to go along for a mummy MOT. If you Google that, you'll find a number of women's health physios who do that around North London. When you do feel ready to get back to exercise and you know that your body has recovered enough for you to do something a little bit more strenuous, then again the key is to think about doing something that feels really kind to you. We can often think of exercise almost as a form of self-punishment. We're doing it just to look a certain way rather than to really feel good about ourselves and our bodies. But also we know that any exercise can really have a positive impact on our mental health, both if we're having some problems with our mental health, for example postnatal depression or anxiety. We know that any exercise can boost our serotonin levels naturally and help us feel a little bit more on an even keel. But what exercise that is really depends on what you're going to really enjoy doing and be able to do consistently. So if that is still just going out for a short walk outside in the fresh air with your baby, then so be it. Keep doing that until you feel like you want to do a little bit more. If you're ready to do a little bit more, choose something that makes you feel really good and really positive about yourself. any exercise is good to release endorphins and get our serotonin going. So choose the thing that makes you feel happiest or most positive. That might be yoga, you might really love to do something more relaxing. It might be Pilates, it might be going for a really fast run, it might be doing some sweaty dancing. Whatever it is, choose something that's going to make you feel really good. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've got any questions, and do feel free to come and find me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and I've got my own website. All of the details will be on here. Look forward to chatting to you again one day soon. Bye.